William.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm watching the Twilight Zone right now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So as it's been clearly established, I think at some point that the Twilight Zone is my favorite TV series of all time, TV shows of all time,
Yes.
right? So I
Yeah.
finished. So I watched the original 1950s black and white Twilight. Good fucking media, by the way. The old 1950 Twilight Zone, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm watching the 1980s reboot, right? And oh boy, this show is clearly a product of its time. Jesus Christ. I just finished an episode yesterday, and they said stuff in that episode that would not go by well in today's standard society, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
It was
uh-huh.
watching that episode. It was really fucking weird and awkward just hearing them say it. Okay.
What did it say? Because I
Okay,
haven't
so-
seen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so basically the episode was about a kid who had the ability to bring stuff he sees in books to life, right? So if he saw like a rope, right? He could bring that to life, right? But the problem
Uh-huh.
is he couldn't bring anything living into life. Anything he brought that would be living would die on arrival. So like a dog or a bird or some shit. So if you were to bring a bird or a dog to life, it would die, right? But
Jesus,
the
yeah.
problem with this kid was a special needs kid who had a mental disability, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in today's society standards, we would say this kid would be special need or had a mental
Yeah.
disability, right? They did not say that at all. They did not describe that kid at all in this episode. They just hard said that word. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
It was
okay, I
so
see what you
awkward. It was just so awkward listening to these people just describing this kid with that word. Like the parents describing it, I was like, oh boy. And then there was a social worker in this episode. She just hard said it out. I was like, oh wow. They're just wow. This wow. It just felt so awkward listening to that stuff being said because we don't because that's something we would say nowadays, right? Because we I guess we learned now that we don't. That's not how we would describe people with mental disability or special need. I was like, it was just so fucking weird just watching that episode and them just saying that. I was like, oh, that's right. This show's from 1985. I forgot.
Uh-huh.
I was just
But so
yeah.
But so wait, what does that? What's the difference between from the 1980s and the 1950s version? Because I would expect that there's something that they say in there that-
because in the 1950s they never used that word at any point. They
so
never had a character that had a mental disability or a special need.
Oh, okay. So it's just a matter of fact of just how they talk or something.
No, they just fucking use that word to
Oh,
describe.
they just never had the character, so they never had to say it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this episode was a new episode. Like it wasn't based on any. Well, I think it wasn't based on any existing media for it to describe. But it was just so fucking weird just watching that episode. How they just said that. They were just hard saying that word to describe this kid.
Okay.
It was just it just felt so awkward. Also, the episode was really fucking. It's probably like the scariest Twilight Zone. Was the most uncomfortable Twilight Zone episode I've ever watched. Honestly.
Well, I mean,
besides for the fact they were using that word, right? It's just that episode in general was really hard to watch.
Well, yeah, I figured because he can bring things that are supposed
Yeah.
to
So
be
here's
alive
what happens,
and they just come in
right?
and they die.
The mom character died, right?
Uh-huh.
So basically, the family made it so that they hid all pictures of stuff, like instead of like his special books of like stuff he could bring that won't cause problems, so like donuts or apples or like I don't know, like toy cars and shit like that, right? Right. So the mom character died, and so the father character goes through like the whole depression or whatever the fuck, right? And then a social worker comes in. The social worker lady comes in like, "Hey, yo, what's up? I'm sorry about your wife's loss." And of course, she doesn't believe that the kid could bring this stuff to life, right? Because the parents been hiding the son, but due to the fact that he has the special disability, right? Of course, you can't bring it like it was like a regular kid who had the magic powers of brains. Of course, they would teach the kid to not, hey son, don't go out in public using your powers, right?
Yeah.
But due to the fact that the kid and that's was special needs, they couldn't bring him out in public or do all of that. So the social worker was obviously being a social worker who thought that the parents were abusing the kid, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So the social worker, then the parent and the social work, the dad character and the social got into an argument, but he dropped a photo of his wife.
Uh-huh.
And then the kid said, so the kid had like a magic word that in order to bring something, like he said the words bring. So if he looks like a picture and then said the word bring, the thing will appear, right? So he saw the photo of his mom, and they said, and then we just see this corpse in a white dress appear on it. It was just so fucking disturbing. Jesus Christ.
I feel like I want to watch this episode now.
I think you should watch this episode. I think the episode is called if you can find it later. I'm pretty sure you can just find it online. The Toys of Caliban. Caliban.
Nice, it's right there.
Yeah. So I watched that episode. I was like, that episode was just so fucking off-putting. Besides from the fact that they were just using that word to describe the sun and everything, you know, it's like the imagery they used when he brought back the dead wife was just so fucking disturbing. Like Twilight Zone isn't scary as far as I'm concerned. Like I watched all of 1950s Twilight. I watched the reboot, and there's like nothing scary. I've never been scared by the Twilight Zone or whatever the fuck, right? But it's like this episode was just so fucking off-putting. Honestly, I don't know if it has to do with the fact that it was like 1950s, like 1980s camera quality, right? But it's like the way that, because like this episode looked like, I think it's due to the fact that it was like camera quality, so everything looked like it was like a dreamscape in terms of settings, right? But like it's just the camera quality combined with the imagery and so, and the son who had the special need was just so fucking off-putting.
Jesus, yeah. I mean, to be fair, the camera quality in 1980s were a different kind that we'd be used to.
Yeah, but I think like dirtier. Out of every Twilight Zone episodes I've watched, this is probably like the worst Twilight. Well, not worse and bad, but like the worst to watch in general. Yeah, but don't worry.
You know, I can't wait to see what happens when he brings back that corpse.
Yeah. Don't worry. It's just like I can't wait to see what happens when Steven Seagal goes into the sun.
There's a segue.
There's a segue. All right. I wasted like 7 minutes talking about the Twilight Zone, so we can talk about Steven Seagal now. Hey, welcome back to our continuing Steven Seagal week of Steven Seagal.
No, God, just.
All right. So, the last movie was what, 1988? 1998?
Yeah, something like that. And then this is 2005.
Yeah, so we took a big gap. So hey, so here's the next gap in Steven Seagal's career. I will quote. I mean, he did other movies, but this, in terms of our gap setting, this is the next stepping stone.
Oh, what a movie this one was!
Hold on, I need to pull up the movie. I need to have the movie up in the background as we talked about. All right, I do not have the file. Okay, I cannot pull the movie up. All right, wait, how much of Steven Seagal was in this movie?
Dude, there was like, what, 4 minutes or 5 minutes of Steven Seagal or something?
I know.
I don't, it's like, it's weird, because it's like, I'm starting to notice it, but it feels like whenever there's a Steven Seagal movie, they do their best to make sure there's very little of Steven Seagal that could be in this movie.
Wait till we talk about the other movies in Steven Seagal week. Wait, okay, William, guess how many action scenes did Steven Seagal do in this movie?
Oh fuck! Damn, I lost it. Let's see. There's like three in total. Okay, right?
keep that number in mind when you watch the other Steven Seagal movies.
Okay, all right, sure. That sounds promising.
Yeah. So welcome to Into the Sun.
God. All right. So before we get into the absolute mess that this movie was. Okay, so we're gonna read into the. Are we just gonna go ahead and read the plot synopsis?
Yeah, right? like always. Like always.
Wait,
this movie was a very 2005 movie, by the way.
It really is.
It really is. So I like movies that are a remnant of its time, right? Like if we were to watch like a 19s movie, like a movie from like the 1990s, right? You can tell it's a 1990s by the fact that they do the stupid extreme shit. Right? Right? Like how fucking cool everyone in remember in 1990 how by law every kid had to have a skateboard? That's what this movie was like. Every kid in 1990 had a skateboard, alright?
Yeah, they all had skateboards.
It was by law. The government said if you don't have a skateboard, we're gonna kill you.
It's like when the baby is born, they had a little mini skateboard.
Yeah. The government gives every baby a skateboard, and every year the parents are required to update the skateboard.
It's not even that they get them a new skateboard when they're older. They just update it. Just add more skateboard to the skateboard. It's just like imagining like a fucking like a newborn baby with like a tiny little skateboard, like they're just sleeping right next to it or some shit. It's just like Jesus. It's like it's almost like the Marines, but in reverse. But for civilians, like this skateboard is mine. There are many like it, but this one is mine. God.
But yeah, this movie was This movie was a fucking good example of like early 2000 movies.
Yeah, I know, it's very weird.
This movie was a real movie of its time period.
Yeah, it also feels like for some like with the way they did this movie, it feels like it's like, this is how it feels like to me. Okay, it felt like somebody watched Kill Bill. And then they decided to make their own version of it, but then it failed spectacularly in every aspect.
Wait, you don't want to see Steven Seagal in a yellow tracksuit?
Oh God, no! I do not want to see Steven Seagal in a tracksuit. Okay. Oh my God.
Did you see Steven Seagal? Oh! Something got disconnected on.
Yeah. You okay?
Oh yeah.
Did you disconnect from reality?
Oh, probably. I don't know. All right, I think it's fine now. I'm trying to find a file for the movie so I can have it pulled up.
Jesus. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and.
You read that plot synopsis while I go look at early 2000 media. Okay. I think we should do 2000 weeks at some point.
Dude, but that's the thing. There's a lot of good movies in 2000s. Like the thing, like I said before, there's Kill Bill. But what do we watch? Are we watching the best of or the worst of 2000s? That's the thing, Austin.
But let's watch 2000s culture in general, when everyone had Guy Fieri hair and used flip phones.
First of all, it wasn't flip phones. It was obviously satellite phones. Okay.
Was it satellite? No, satellite phone was satellite phones 2000s.
I'm pretty sure they still had. No, that was late. That
was late 1990s.
Look, man, I'm just saying they might as well have been satellite phones. Okay. Oh, hold on.
That's Indiana Jones. Oh, that's not what I wanted to look for. Okay, there we go.
Oh, I'm about to actually look up satellite phones.
Oh, okay. Okay, we are just delaying the plot synopsis.
Look, man, I will delay as much as I can. Although they are still selling satellite phones, but then again, satellites is actually rather reliable. So
yeah. Satellites still exist, but we didn't get rid of satellites.
I wonder why. Ooh. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. By the way, I think this is the movie that continues this fucking trend of Steven Seagal, of him wearing fucking stupid glasses.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that too. It's okay. No, don't worry about it. Anyway.
All right. Let's actually get to this plot synopsis now.
Okay, let's actually do it now. The assassination of Tokyo's governor Takayama causes a stir of public outrage in Tokyo, Japan. Upon hearing news of the incident, the U.S. FBI asks the CIA's Tokyo office to investigate
just ignores the first 5 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, it really does, because honestly, it adds nothing to it, but we'll get into that later. Believing it to be linked to the Yakuza, a dangerous Japanese mafia syndicate. The Japanese branch of the CIA starts sniffing around under the auspices of
there was a Japanese branch of the CIA.
I don't know, man.
But is that even real?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what the CIA does in their spare time, dude.
But anyway. Besides peddle drugs to the community.
I heard a different word there for a second. I heard a different word there for a second.
Did you? Oh, okay. Just to clarify, I said the word drugs to the community. All right.
That's.
I don't know.
Kind of not what I heard. I'm talking about the other. When you said, never mind. I'm not gonna get into it. Please don't get into it.
Okay, we're not gonna get into it.
It wasn't the drugs part that I was worried about. Okay.
Okay. You weren't worried about drugs. Let that be for a record that William does not worry about drugs.
Okay. The Japanese branch of the CIA starts sniffing around under the auspices of the United States Department of Homeland Security. Retired CIA agent Travis Hunter and his rookie FBI agent understudy Sean Mack are assigned to work on the case and to track down the perpetrators. During their work, Mack proves to be primarily a distraction to Hunter, especially as he is neither very knowledgeable about CIA procedures nor Japanese customs. Hunter, on the other hand, having been raised in Japan, never been said before, has a strong understanding of the Yakuza. And
Steven Seagal was born in Japan, alright?
Yeah, sure he was. Oh my god.
With Steven Seagal born, they gave him his katana.
My thing is, it's like Japanese kids are just born with katanas.
Just like how Americans in the 1990s were given skateboards, Japanese kids were just born in the 1990s were given katanas.
No, here's the thing, also. They weren't just born; they were born with katanas and Sony phones. Okay, that's what they were born with.
Boy, those fucking. Dude, I don't want to talk about Sony phones right now. Okay, let's not bring up Sony phones. I will go into a fucking rant about Sony phones. You don't want me to go into that.
Yeah, but but why do you have such a thing with Sony phones, Austin?
Sony phones are just fucking stupid, alright? Nobody owns them. I've never met a person that owns them that wasn't paid by Sony to have it, alright? Nobody in their fucking right minds is gonna go out to a fucking store and be like, hey yo, I need to buy your latest model of your Sony phones. Alright?
Oh my god. Oh, you know what, Austin?
What?
You know what does that make sense?
What?
What if because the only reason Japan stopped having children was because Sony stopped paying them to have Sony phones?
Oh, was that it? Was Sony funding the baby market in Japan?
They're funding the baby market because they want to.
Fuck. Just so they can get fun, just so they can sell their stupid fucking Sony phones.
Exactly.
Holy fuck.
Okay.
I hate our discussion so much.
I do too.
I hate everything. Fuck.
Anyway.
Let's go back to Steven Seagal saving Japan.
Okay.
That could be the name of a movie, by the way. And no one can tell.
Hunter and Mac discover a plan by Kuroda, the boss of a new Yakuza outfit, to build an enormous drug dealing network using his export company in cahoots with a Chinese Tong outfit leader named Chen. Kuroda is killing everyone.
Oh, Corona. Okay, I misheard as Corona for some reason.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's topical.
That's topical.
Yeah, while reviewing security footage of the assassination, Hunter identifies a medallion seen around the neck of the shooter.
They zoomed in and enhanced that footage, by the way.
They
God, super zoom in and enhanced that.
I know. That was it's so obvious that the images were are superimposed on the fucking screens that they have. Like, it's just like a TV screen, and it just took the image and slapped it onto the fucking TV screen. It was so annoying.
We gotta zoom in and enhance, like every fucking cop drama. Zoom in and enhance that footage.
But it's like they do that. They do the super enhanced thing, and then when I'm watching it, it's like you watch it, but it's not frozen. The image is still moving because I see like this shirt, like the Yakuza shirt, like slightly moving with a breeze. You know, it's just like it distracted me so much because this is not a frozen image. This is like it's like the killer stood there for like 10 seconds just so that these guys can identify him, and then he left on the motorcycle. Anyway, before we get into the mess of, I'm trying not to get into the mess of this movie. I'm trying to explain the plot of this real quick.
Yeah.
Right. Hunter identifies a medallion seen around the neck of the shooter that links Kuroda to the mastermind of the governor's assassination. As Hunter has been told that Kojima, the second in command of an old school... Yeah, I know, right? Of an old school...
Can we not name this guy Kojima? Can you give this character a different name?
No, his name is Kojima now, okay?
Oh, his name is Kojima.
Kojima is Yakuza, confirmed.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. The second in command of an old school Yakuza group run by elderly godfather Oyabun Ishikawa is the only Yakuza player who is capable of defeating Kuroda. Hunter turns to him for help. When they speak, Kojima tells Hunter that the new Yakuza are now joining forces with the Tongs, which means they are becoming too powerful. Kojima says that, like Hunter, he too would love nothing more than to permanently get rid of Kuroda, adding that it will be interesting to see which one of them kills him first. Meanwhile, Hunter's relentless pursuit of Kuroda increasingly endangers those associated with him. First, Kuroda has Godfather Ishikawa murdered, making Kojima the new leader of Ishikawa's Yakuza outfit. Mac gets out of his depth while investigating and is also brutally murdered. But when Kuroda has Hunter's fiancée Nayoko, savagely slaughtered by sword, Hunter's search for Kuroda becomes devastatingly personal. Now, this sounds like something like on the DVD, again. Teaming up with CIA operative Jewel and tattoo artist Fudomyo O, whose wife and young child were also killed by Kuroda, Hunter sets out to take down Kuroda. By nightfall, Fudomyo and Hunter arrive at the temple Kuroda uses as his hideout. One by one, they take on all the members of Kuroda's group of katanas. Mia Ling, student to Hunter's old master and an expert sword fighter, also arrives just in time to save Fudomyo and then teams up with the two men. They have me say this name a lot. When Fudomyo confronts Kuroda, the latter shoots him, but only in the left shoulder, and so the former survives. Hunter then appears and ferociously battles Kuroda, if you can call that a battle, ultimately killing him by slashing his chest. Then they leave Kuroda's temple hideout. The next day, Mi Ling, Furomyo and Hunter hold a memorial service to offer their respects to Nayako. At the same time, a Yakuza ceremony is held to formally make Kojima the successor leader.
Good, Kojima has taken over.
Yep, and that's how then he went on to make video games.
Yeah,
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Jewel and her CIA professional cleaning company crew arrive at Kuroda's hideout and quickly coat virtually everything with a gooey blue substance. Nice. The local authorities arrive shortly thereafter to investigate the scene and are puzzled by what they find. Some take away the bodies of Kuroda and his henchmen for autopsy, while others collect the weapons for forensic criminal investigation. Their main inspector comments that the blue goo will keep them from gathering fingerprints. In the final scene, Hunter returns to the park where he and Nayako used to go to in order to grieve and remember her.
Mm-hmm.
Weird sentence there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So straight off the bat, this movie's shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh! This was a Sony produced movie. That's why. Okay.
Oh, were there Sony phones in there?
Yeah. No, I'm reading. Sony released this movie in Japan apparently.
Wait, what?
Yeah, in release.
Wait, where's this?
At the bottom in release.
In release, Sony released Into the Sun theatrically in Japan on November 26, 2005, and it grossed, no money.
Yeah. So there probably was Sony phones in this movie.
Yeah, I'm about to look up and see if there were Sony phones whenever they're actually making a call. I'm gonna see if it says Sony on there.
gotta let people know that your Sony phones, like your fucking stupid Sony phones. Sony. Jesus. Okay. William has opened up his tab. He is going to the window.
What are you saying?
He is typing in. He has typed into the address bar. He is.
What are you saying? I'm just looking through the video. I'm not doing anything that you're saying, Austin. God damn it. Okay.
Did you find it?
No, I'm not gonna bother now.
All right. There's just too much work. We just said all right. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, this movie is. Okay, it's.
Steven Seagal fucking does nothing in this movie.
Yeah,
except goes around to let people know he's a big fan of Japanese culture.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's such an odd movie. Like again, it's like whenever there's a Steven Seagal movie that I've been noticing, Above the Law. I mean, notwithstanding, because Above the Law is actually decent, and even with Steven Seagal in it, but it's like. I feel like at movies afterwards, it's like with Steven Seagal, people were trying to work around him, and so it gives off a very weird vibe, you know, to the movie as a whole.
Yeah,
it's just so odd.
Yeah, I come to realize that.
Yeah, it's just so weird.
It's like there's two different movies going on. There's just where the fuck Steven Seagal does, and the actual plot. Steven Seagal is a side quest in the main quest of the movie.
Yeah, I know. It's just. Oh god, it's just so because a lot of the this movie would have been fine if they just took out the American element and Steven Seagal, you know,
just make it like a regular action, like a regular Japanese film.
Yeah, a regular Japanese Yakuza film, right? Because it could have been like
like a regular Japanese drama film. Yeah.
Because it's like basically what the story is here is, I mean. Literally, in the beginning of the film, it sets up a very different tone.
Yeah,
because
that thing had nothing relevant to that just fucking happened. I was so fucking confused with that scene at the beginning of Steven Seagal in the fucking jungle.
Yeah, it's like it's like he's in a covert operation. He's in a jungle where these people are just peddling drugs or something, or poppies. You know, I guess we're also drugs. And so these two guys are about to hurt this young woman, and then Steven Seagal, being the good guy, he kills them, and then all hell breaks loose, and then it's like he's in a military operation. He's running. He runs to the helicopter. They escape, but not without his friend ends up getting fatally shot and mortally wounded.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's so weird because also that scene is very awkward because if only because it's also Steven Seagal. He's like, oh man, I'm dying, and then Steven Seagal is kind of like he's kind of looking at the camera and he's also looking at the other guy. He's like, nah, man, you'll be okay. Yeah, you're gonna be all right.
Asian mysticism will save you.
Yeah, it's just
Also,
so odd.
like this thing just doesn't connect. I thought for some reason the guy that's in this village would show up later, but he doesn't. So there's clear evidence in this scene where he's at the beginning. Like they focus the camera on like this like as unsupposed, I guess this the apparent leader or some shit, right?
Yeah.
So I thought this was connected, but no, it's just some fucking leader guy. Yeah, like see like we get a scene of him watching the camera. I mean, not watching the camera, watching the helicopter flow. I was like, oh, I guess this guy's important now. I guess they're setting this guy up for later. And Steven Seagal just happened to be here in Tokyo fighting against this guy. Yeah, but no, he's just some fucking random fucking drug dealer guy.
Yeah, like in the beginning, it felt like it was gonna be something like excuse me. It felt like it was gonna be Steven Seagal was part of this operation. And then maybe he gets orders that this guy who he was tagging, who he was following, and because he made a mess or whatever, he has to go clean it up and has to follow this guy.
He has to go back and
he
stop
has
this
to.
guy.
He has to go back and stop this guy, only to find out this guy maybe moved his operations to Japan, and then maybe he goes there,
and then
that's where
Steven Seagal could go save Japan, save his favorite country on earth.
Yeah, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's so weird, and then it's like, and then you watch the rest of the movie, it's like. Then you realize the beginning had nothing to do with
you could literally
at all.
edit out that beginning scene and nothing would change.
Yeah, literally just have the opening
it does
credits.
nothing. Like nothing. We gain literally nothing from that scene. I feel like, you know what I feel. I feel like that scene was just from another Steven Seagal movie that they forgot to edit.
they just fucking had to like it's like, oh wait, oh shit, we had this extra scene. What do we do? Is like, just put it in the beginning, just do it. No one's gonna give a shit.
Yeah,
Steven Seagal.
The scene made no fucking like I guess it was just supposed to show that he's a military guy, but I don't know why they had to show it. You just say he's in the military, people would just believe you. Is that
also yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I will say, like, when Steven Seagal's acting in the beginning is actually pretty bad, if only because he's just like when he's like, yo, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be okay, man. He's kind of smiling when he's doing it as he's looking at the camera too. You know how weird that is when you watch that scene, Austin?
Yeah.
It's just so awkward. And then it's like, anyway, we go into the title credits, and the title credits are interesting.
Yeah.
Because like you set one tone right in the beginning. And then you go, and then it's like, you set one tone where he's in a jungle mission. Then you go to the credits, and it's like with the way they're doing with like the Japanese lettering and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you see like people kind of moving in the background. It feels like it's like a spy movie now for some reason.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
And then we go into Tokyo, and then you have all these random. Then it's just completely different music, and it becomes a completely different
this
tone.
opening scene is like the most 2005 thing ever. Holy shit! I mean, early 2000 movie. Like you have these fucking bullshit techno fucking scan lines or some shit, and you have these fucking zooms. Like these, this is something you could date. That is a 2000. This is a movie made into like this is the shit that they used to do with action spy movies and shit. It's so fucking.
Yeah, because they have a lot of fucking shots of the cityscape, and they're zooming in and out on a boat, and then they're zooming out of the boat, zooming on a train, zooming out of a train, zooming on tracks.
These bad. I mean, I wouldn't say they're bad, but it's dated. But you can obviously tell. Like you have these fucking CGI fucking like scan lines of oh yeah, the data. We're collecting the data. Like there's like supposed to be like some weird fucking government fucking big brother watching them or some shit.
Yeah. Also, well, hold on. I have to look this up real quick. I have to look this up real quick.
Okay.
Okay, because the thing is,
copy of his address bar.
She's been okay. I am typing in my address bar.
Oh,
yes.
he's typing in the letter. Oh, he's typing in some letters. I can't. Oh, there's a letter P. Is the first one.
That is not at all what it is. Okay.
Oh, it's the second letter.
No, it's what? What are you saying?
The second letter. The third letter is K.
No, it's not. Wait, what? K. What are you spelling?
There's an E. He's looking at the letter E.
No, stop. We're done here. Okay. No, we're not. Stop it. I need to check.
Okay.
I need to check this real quick. 2003, 2000. She was in this movie. Oh my god.
Yes.
No. Fucking. Chiaki Kuriyama. She was like. She's very much well known for playing Go-Go in Kill Bill Volume 1.
Oh, she was in Battle Royale.
Right? Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at that. She was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bit, but
It has been
so
a bit.
yeah, but she's also in this movie, Austin,
Yeah. Oh
It's-
fuck. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
because she's like right next to the senator. She's like right next to the senator or the governor that died in the beginning's opening sequence of fucking Into the
Yeah,
Sun.
yeah. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I see her now. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it's so odd. It's like, why are you here? You are in good movies. Don't do this.
Well, to be fair, she's not even like in this movie. Like she's just in that opening scene, right?
Yeah, to be fair, she is only in that opening scene.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. Do you think she got paid more than Steven Seagal to be in this movie?
I mean, to be fair though, she seems rather prolific to me, so I wouldn't doubt it. You know, but I mean, she's been in a lot of stuff actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just very surprised with that. But like, you get the very 2000s-esque opening, and then it's afterwards, not afterwards, no, but kind of afterwards, where the governor, like you have the governor, he does his ad thing, and then he's talking to like the masses and stuff, and then he gets assassinated, right?
Yeah.
And it's by the Yakuza or whatever, and so it's like, and then it's like after you hear about that. This feels like they killed off the governor as an excuse just to bring in the American element, or
Yeah.
to have a reason to bring in Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
And honestly, they could have just found a couple of different ways in order to bring him
Yeah,
in.
they could just like we found a homeless guy living in Japan, a homeless American guy living in Japan.
Or they could have had it so that you could give him the military background if you want, but you could also just have it so that he's just living there with his wife or something, you know. And but they decided to just do it this way. It's just weird and it's odd.
Yeah.
And I think it's because, and I honestly think it's because somebody watched Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the thing is, the way they treat Steven Seagal in this movie is like they treat him like he's the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
And so like he's the best of the best. They kind of like you get this guy called Block, and so he contacts Steven Seagal. His character's name is Travis, and so he contacts Travis saying, "Okay, we need you for a job. Go do this job." He's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And then you have like Block contacting other people. Like I think her name was Jewel in this.
Yeah.
And then they had this like thing where it's first of all, it's a very odd conversation that we're having between Block and Joel. He's like, "Hey baby, I need your help, baby." It's like it's weird. It's so weird just to hear an old man calling another woman like that. Like it's so odd. It's just it was very off-putting to me. I'm like, this is kind of creepy. It's like I don't need this at all. Like they're trying to get the sense of mystique or mystery or whatever, because like you're wondering who he's talking to on the phone, and they kind of treat it like these characters have a past. Like there's a scene where Steven Seagal is talking to Jewel or whatever, or Travis, I mean, and they talk like they kind of have a history together, but they kind of allude to it, and they don't really talk much more on it, and so it's like they do that. And so it's like it feels like it's something that you would see in Kill Bill, like when you have Beatrice or Beatrice Kiddo, or you know, as people more know her as the bride, right? They have the bride talking to Oren Ishii, and they basically had they had these little like in jokes or whatever, the whole tricks, City Rabbit tricks are for kids type of thing, because it feels like in that movie with Kill Bill, it's like, oh yeah, this is a thing that's just between them. Only those two would get it, and we're just kind of observing it, and we don't get to know more. You know.
Yeah.
We only see what we see. We don't get to expand on any more of the background between these two characters themselves, right? And it feels like that they're trying to do that with Steven, or Travis and Joel or something, or with, several other characters, like maybe with Travis and Block, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just also kind of with the fact that whenever I see Steven Seagal. Now, it's like he at least to me, he lacks charisma. You know,
Steven Seagal lacks a lot of things.
He does lack a lot.
But I think he doesn't lack are his super cool sunglasses he wears everywhere.
Like he can look cool. That's fine, I guess. Because he does give a vibe of tough guy.
Yeah.
But he doesn't give a vibe of cool or mystery or charisma or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's just like anything but with him and anyone else just doesn't work. If only because he doesn't know how to do it properly.
Yeah.
And it's also another thing, because it feels like another thing that why this movie is just kind of crap to me is also because the fact that it feels forced in the sense of when they're adding the American element or anything to do with Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Because if it's kind of like in the way. Now this is gonna be a kind of an old movie, but like when the first Godzilla came out, right?
Yeah.
There are two versions of it. There's the Japanese version and there's the American version. Now,
but that's a lot of fish though. That's a lot of fish.
Shut the fuck up. No, not that version. Not like that version.
Oh, not that version. Not the one with Matthew Broderick. You're talking about the American dub version where they added it, where they recorded new scenes.
Yeah, where they recorded new scenes with the original Godzilla, right?
Yeah, okay, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, and it's like you watch the Japanese version, and that's fine. It's actually really good, right? But then it's like you go into the American version, and then just like they kind of like they rework a lot of the scenes, and they kind of also take some out, and they add in the American to give an American perspective on things.
Yeah, just so they can market to America. Yeah.
Yes, so they can market to America, but it doesn't work. If only because of the fact that you kind of like you focus on the American too much, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like you kind of get rid of the character drama between like I don't remember the character's name off the top of my head, but like there's a doctor and there's the other dude and there's the
there was a reporter guy. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the reporter and the girl. Like there's like this romance conflict between these two, but there's also the fact that the doctor has also a kind of moral dilemma and stuff, and a lot of that is just kind of a lot of that's kind of pushed to the side because of the American element here.
Yeah,
and so like. That's kind of the same feeling I'm getting here with Into the Sun, even if it's intentional or not. Because the thing is, this movie is it's like the thing is, the whole CIA FBI aspect just feels unnecessary, and whenever it's on, it just feels like it's there, it's forced in front of you, and it's just like, but this is not where the interesting story is. The interesting story is between the Yakuza and with the older and newer generation conflicting with each other, because. What the story basically is that you have the older generation of Yakuza and then the newer generation of Yakuza, where one runs on tradition and the other runs on basically who gives a fuck. We just care about money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're super cool. We're super cool as we play Tekken or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and it's just like you had this thing where like the younger Yakuza are basically willing to ally themselves with the Chinese, something that the older Yakuza would never even fucking consider. Right? Because they don't want to have to deal with foreigners at all, like coming into their turf and them having to play ball with anybody else that's in their home turf. You know, it's for them and them alone. It's not for anybody else to interfere with. But the newer Yakuza are basically like, fuck that. We can join with them. We can basically expand and become more than what we are here on our homeland. We can just take over everything.
More power.
Yeah, we can get more power if we're willing to go beyond our borders. And so that's like, it's a very interesting thing that could have been explored here, but a lot of it, again, this interesting story aspect is all pushed aside because of the American aspect with Steven Seagal.
Yeah, because we gotta know about Steven Seagal's love life in Japan.
Yeah.
We gotta let them know that she's gonna really love Asian woman.
Oh my god. Also, that's also another thing. Like, aside from the story, like, the romance is so just not good. It's just not good. It's like, it's kind of like it's a good comparison. Not a good comparison, but a comparison would be like with Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, the romance between Padme and Anakin, where that's just kind of like, it's a little weird. You know, it's kind of weird and it's a little creepy, and it doesn't really work too well. But it's like. There's a difference in that one kind of tries, and it's not the worst thing. But in here, with Into the Sun, with Steven Seagal or Chavez and his love interest, there's no real sense of chemistry at all. Especially because Steven Seagal doesn't emote like at all.
Yeah,
he just says his lines and he just looks stern and just like he just looks. He doesn't look stern. He looks kind of, and I don't mean this in a bad way. Well, it's gonna sound bad either way. He looks constipated. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's not bad.
Okay.
That's just Steven Seagal.
Just Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but like.
No, one William's dying. He's dying. Yeah.
But it's really bad, the romance, and it's just like it just feels odd, and it's just I don't like it. I hate it. I wish it was never included. And so there's that thing, and then there's the whole aside from that, a lot of the problems with the movie is honestly probably the editing too. Because like a major example that I will give, and I don't want to go into any more of the editing, because aside from the 2000-esque type of editing with the zoom in, zoom fast and shit like that, and technical aspects of it, the editing is like there's no interesting camera angles or camera work involved, and so it's just kind of rather static. The action is kind of the action again is kind of a mess. But then again, this is the same issue that we've had before in the Glimmer Man.
Yeah.
Where the action is like you can't really tell what's going on. And if you had like someone else who knew how to film a fight scene, or like an Asian director who would understand how like martial arts should work in a movie, it would work a lot better. But in here, it's just again that the American editing, where it's just fast paced. You don't know what's going on. You just know it's all fast and everything when everyone's getting hit and flying everywhere, and the editing is just kind of like it's a mess to begin with as well. Because like again, I know I said it before, but I will say it now. But a big example is like the fact that like Travis ends up basically marrying his Japanese waifu. Okay.
Yeah. And so, Steven Seagal's fucking Japanese waifu. Yep. I was waiting for that.
Right. Yeah. Travis marries his Japanese waifu Nayoko, and there's this whole marriage. I guess I don't remember. Was there a marriage
I don't
ceremony at all?
I don't know a lot of things. All right.
Okay. So I don't even remember if there was a marriage scene, but I know there's this very awkward romance where like it's like you see Steven Seagal like he's like in one outfit throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Beginning notwithstanding, but he's in one outfit where he's like in a black trench coat and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And black boots, and then
that's the Steven Seagal outfit. He wears that to bed every night, and he just like go wake up with that outfit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, technically he does in this movie because the thing is, he's wearing this outfit and then he's gonna consummate the marriage with Nayoko, right? So basically, but she's like the only person who's taking off her clothes, and so like you'll see that she takes her clothes off, but Steven Seagal doesn't do anything with himself at all. And it's just like this very awkward scene where he's just fully clothed and he's getting on top of Nayoko, and then it cuts to like the cityscape, but for some reason it cuts back to Steven Seagal and or Travis and Nayoko, and it's like there's just very awkwardly kissing, and it's just the most awkward scene I've seen for a romance at all. And then it cuts to the next scene where it's just like daytime and they're continuing with the investigation or whatever. It's just like the movie doesn't have a real sense of pacing or anything. It's just like things happen, but they don't happen in a way that feels like it flows, like it doesn't organically flow into the other scene.
Yeah,
and it's just. It's a mess, and it's just weird because like you have this whole story like again the story with the Yakuza, but the American like you had this whole thing with the rookie agent, and the rookie agent's like investigating, and it's just like it's just I feel just like the investigation doesn't even feel needed, like it's just like everything is an afterthought. Like they kill off the rookie agent when he goes in, and then he kind of like snoops around and he hits too close to the sun essentially, right?
Yeah.
No puns intended. But and so like the Yakuza basically keep tabs on him. They capture him. They beat him up. Also, you don't see the beat up. It's just like they put him in the car. Then the scene cuts and you see him on the floor. It's just kind of random. It's like okay, and then they basically kill him, right? And then right afterwards, then it's like, oh right, we should have a reaction to people wondering what happened to him, right?
Yeah.
And then Block calls, and then Block is like, hey, what happened to our agent? And then Travis is basically an asshole, basically like, I don't care, man, I don't know what he's doing. Look, he's probably alive. Don't worry about it, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like
good old Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old Steven Seagal. Yeah.
Yeah, Steven Seagal's character is an asshole in this, and so like And then he doesn't even wonder what happened to his rookie agent, not until at the end, and it's not even him wondering what happened to him. It's just like the Yakuza boss, Kuroda, assumes that he's here to wondering about the agent, and he's like, "Oh, looking for your friend? Here's his badge." And then Travis is like, you cut to a camera, he doesn't give a shit. He's like, oh, I guess he died. That's how he kind of feels. He just doesn't give a shit at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, it's so annoying because it's like it's like the like everything feels forced together, slammed together, and it's just like nothing works organically. If they did the story in a different way, where maybe like Travis is like was like dishonorably like or honorably discharged from the military, right? And then maybe he couldn't like he traveled around the world trying to find peace for himself, and he found that in maybe in Japan with his wife or something, right?
With his waifu, huh?
Yeah, with his waifu. He found his Japanese waifu, and then he found
he
peace
found
for the
his
first
peace
time in
once
a
he
while.
found his waifu.
Yeah, exactly. And then so like maybe then like also like because the thing is, Nayako has like literally has no relation at all to the whole fucking story. She's just kind of killed off in order to give incentive to Travis, like killing the whole entire fucking Yakuza gang, right? And so, which is a really dumb way to do it, but it's like you could have had, if you're gonna have her die, like the thing is, she kind of just dies randomly, if only because one character doesn't like her or how he looked at or how she looked at at his boss. And so he kills her basically just because of how she looked at his boss. And it's dumb, right? But if it was because she was like, it could have been that Nayako was like tied to the older generation of Yakuza, right? She's like maybe the granddaughter of the big boss, right?
Yeah.
And so, and so because she's related to him, maybe that would have made more sense of why they killed her off, right? When they started making their power play. And so then that would have gotten Steven Seagal to actually motivate himself to get back. He's lost this one sense of peace. Then you could have had it then you could have had him like fighting with the old Yakuza gang, and then as eliminating the other gang, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like you could, if you wanted the American aspect so bad, you just have it so that he marries into the older Yakuza gang, and so then he's just kind of involved. He's not too involved, but he understands that there's like things happening. And so, like, maybe that would have made a lot more sense. And that way, through his perspective, we could have gotten a sense of the older Yakuza generation's aspect of this whole turf war, while we can always go and switch back to like the other Yakuza the newer Yakuza generation and their aspect on things, and without having this whole CIA FBI bullshit, right? And the governor assassination, which honestly just doesn't tie into anything at all, with the story. He's just an excuse to bring in the American element. All you need is just to act like the only American element, if you needed to have it in the first place, was just Steven Seagal, and he could have just had him marry the girl. He's on one side of the war because he marries into it, and then there's the other side of the war, and then you could have explored the dynamics between these two characters and how they react to like why this one acts dishonorably, but then the others would say, but this is necessary for us to like have a future or that kind of thing, and then you could have had a thing there, and then you could have killed off Nayako, and then you could have or injure her, because honestly, like I don't like killing off a character just to motivate another character because it's just kind of ham-fisted at this point, but personal opinion aside. But you could have killed her off, and then Steven Seagal would have fully committed himself to the older Yakuza gang, and then have them and then help them eliminate all the other gangs, and then that would have brought the action in, at least for Steven Seagal, and that would have been a lot better if anything, because first of all, you have this whole thing where Steven Seagal is just kind of asking people around into the sun, and so he's just kind of asking, I need your help, and he's like, okay, we'll give you your help, and then he asks other people like, I'll eliminate these people for you because this is my job or whatever, and he's like, okay, we'll give you our help, and I mean they say that, but you never really see them helping him at all, and so that's like these scenes feel just like a reason just to have Steven Seagal in them. Yeah. And then it's just like they forget about it. And then it's like Steven Seagal just kills them on his own. It's like he doesn't get any help at all. Nobody else is involved, and Steven Seagal just seems to be just random rogue element, and it just ruins it with everything else. There should have been a cohesion with Steven Seagal and the other people that he asked for if they're going to do that in this movie. And then but it's just like they're unutilized. They're just not used at all.
Yeah, they're just there.
Huh? Yeah, they're just there.
Yeah,
they're just cardboard cutouts.
We're just there. They're just there to help Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
Dark
and they don't
in my
even
room.
help Steven Seagal in the first at all.
I am getting up.
You know?
I am trying to reach my lamp. Okay, I turned it on. All right, there's light in my room now. All right, there's no more darkness. I am free from the darkness of Steven Seagal.
Jesus Christ. But it's like, this whole movie just feels like a fucking waste of time.
Yeah.
It is such a huge waste of time. Like, if they could have done the story like as I suggested or as I talked about, and that would have made it a lot better.
Or they could just not have a movie with Steven Seagal in it.
Yeah, or just not have Steven
think
Seagal and
Japan
just
likes
focus on the
Steven
Yakuza
Seagal?
itself.
Do you think Japan's a big fan of Steven Seagal?
I don't know if they are. We could always look that up. But I
don't want to look at the Japanese Steven Seagal fan page. All right, fan group.
Steven Seagal
Japan.
famous in Japan.
Here we go. Steven Seagal Japan. All right. Okay, he did Aikido. Okay. Oh, but that's in 1990. That's in 1993. All right. Okay. Sensei Aikido. Okay, so he had a dojo in Japan. Okay, I guess that's it. I found a article from 1986 about Steven Seagal.
1986. Holy shit, dude.
From the LA Times. Thank you, LA Times.
Jesus Christ.
All right, I can't find anything about. Okay. Oh, here's one. What do Aikido think of Steven Seagal? Okay, they think he's a fraud. All right, that's all I need to know. All right, cool. Now I know what Japanese Aikido players, practitioners think of Steven Seagal. Cool. All right.
God, but yeah, it's just like it's so like. Well, it's nice to know the Japanese don't think
like
too much on him.
Oh, what?
But yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's bro. I was like, I don't like the fact that this movie had no plot. I mean, no, this movie had a plot. The fact that there's just two fucking plot that this movie doesn't need to have two fucking plots. It's just so fucking. It just fucking takes you out of this movie. Like I wanna fucking follow the Yakuza and this whole mystery, but I gotta keep going back to Steven Seagal and his fucking stupid anime waifu.
Yeah, I know. It's so annoying.
Like I don't even know what Steven Seagal does in this movie except harass Japanese woman.
Yeah, I hate this movie. It's just it's so odd, and it's like if you needed the American element, just do what I suggest, right? But honestly, I feel the American element didn't need to be had at all, and it could have just focused on the Yakuza. It could have just been a Yakuza movie. And it could have just been focused on the clashing of two generations and how they believe they should move forward in the future, you know, and that would have been fine. That would have been great, but they didn't do that. And so it's just like, this whole movie is a waste of time. It's just so odd. I also hate the beginning. I'm just gonna touch on it briefly here, but like. You know how weird the ending is, Austin?
Oh yeah, like how this fucking goo shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? This felt like that scene in which X-Men movie was it? With the one where they tried to set up the fucking Mr. Sinister. That fucking what X-Men was it? Was it? It wasn't Dark. No, it wasn't Dark Phoenix. It was the one before Dark. It's the one where he went back in time.
Wouldn't that be Days of Future Past?
No, it wasn't Days of. It's the one where he met Wolverine. When he was still an experiment, that one. It might have been.
Wouldn't that be Wolverine Origins?
No, not Wolverine. Oh no, it was the one when they had the new cast, the new generation, meet Wolverine. Fuck, which movie was that? Fuck. Was it?
I don't know what you mean.
It wasn't Apocalypse. Was it? Was it Apocalypse? It might have been the one after. Fuck, which one was it? Days of Future Past. Let's see. The one where they travel to. Yeah. Okay, it was Apocalypse. When they traveled to Canada. Was it this one?
Oh, was it?
Yeah. It was Apocalypse. Yeah. It reminds me of the end credit of the post-credit scene of X-Men Apocalypse.
Okay, Jesus.
Yeah, I was like, it's so fucking because the X-Men movie timeline was so fucking confusing. Yeah, it reminds me of that. Yeah. It was so fucking weird out the fucking. Yeah, with the CI just coming to clean up this mess for no reason.
God, right? It's just so like
that scene just felt like a completely different movie. Like as soon as I was like, what the fuck are they doing? What's the point? This doesn't feel like this is something like they need to be doing.
Yeah, I know.
Well, when they try to hide the fact that Steven Seagal just committed mass murder.
Yeah.
Or the CIA protecting Steven Seagal. Is that what this movie is?
Yeah, I know, but it's also a thing where it's also another problem with the movie because when they do that, it's like a completely different tone or a completely different movie in general, just because it's like of what they're doing because it doesn't fit with what we're seeing with everything else.
It just feels like a sci-fi movie
know?
all of a sudden. I was like, what the fuck? Like that's like that entire scene just felt like something out of a sci-fi, and like it came from a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, I know, it's so odd. And then there's also like the whole his wife died, right?
Mm-hmm,
and so they did this stupid, very cheesy, and I just like I laughed. If I was drinking water, it would have been a spit take. But like earlier when Steven Seagal was proposing or whatever, they did the whole pinky promise thing where it's like, keep this promise or you drink 1,000 needles if you lie, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Jesus. But they do that, and so like he's there, and then they have it edited so that like the wife's like Nayako slowly fades, she just fades away, and then you see Steven Seagal just like sitting there with his hand in the air, looking like a dumbass, looking out into the empty space, and it's like the stupidest fucking shit, right? And then you have him on the bridge where he's just looking out, and I guess he's supposed to look sad, but he looks constipated, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's looking out, and then he walks onto the bridge, and then like they quickly have it so that the screen the sky was blue, then it becomes red with like the sun, starting to set down, right? And it feels like that's where the movie would end, right? But they don't end it there. Then it's like it's supposed to, it gives off the sense that it should end on a somber note, but they don't do that. Yeah. But then here instead they have it so that like Steven Seagal's in a car driving in Tokyo, right? Mm-hmm. And then he answers the phone. He's like, "Who's this?" And then you have block answers like, "Guess who, Travis?" And then it's like it gives a weird, different vibe, saying like, "Oh yeah, he'll be fine in the end. He'll still be taking missions and stuff or whatever." It's just like so odd, especially after the fact that you give this somber ending where his wife just dies, someone that he supposedly cares about a lot. Yeah. Even though they don't have a lot of screen time together.
Yeah, they most definitely does not. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just. Then it gives a completely different tone of the movie. And it's just like, it feels like this ending belongs to a different kind of movie. It's like you have two different storylines, and then it's like two different movies clashing with each other.
Okay, so hold on. Let's try to think of how many different movies. So we got that whole fucking opening scene. That's a movie, right? That's an entirely different movie. We got the whole the fucking Yakuza movie.
Yeah,
The whole fucking Yakuza plot. Then we have the fucking Steven Seagal, where the fuck Steven Seagal's doing fucking plot, right?
And then you have the whole FBI thing, right?
Yeah, the end scene with the fucking blue goo, like that, the fucking sci-fi. There's like 4 movie storylines in this.
It's so odd. It's just like it doesn't again this
but this
movie doesn't have
the opening
a
and the editing did not have to appear in this movie. You really could have edited these out and it would still be the exact same movie.
God, it's just so dumb. Like they don't have any focus on what they want to do with this movie. Like they have an idea, but they want to do a whole bunch of other stuff, like and eat their cake too, But they can't. They make a horrible cake.
You think Steven Seagal wrote this movie? All this came to him in a vision.
God, dude, it's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just this movie's a waste of time.
Yeah. All right. So how many Steven Seagal would you rate this movie in a Steven Seagal scale?
The thing is, as much as I hate everything with Steven Seagal in it, and I hate the entire American element. The only interesting parts are honestly the Yakuza aspects. Yeah. Because like the Japanese actors are fine. Like literally, they're the best part of this movie. Like they actually they act fine in this movie. Mm-hmm. And they do some good physical acting as well. And so literally, the only saving grace is Japanese. And so because of that, I give it 4 Japanese out of 10 Seagals. Okay.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. 4 Japanese out of Steven Seagal.
Yes, out of 10 Steven Seagals.
Jesus Christ. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna rate this as out of the three Steven Seagal movies we watched so far, this is my third. This is the third Steven Seagal movie.
We're just continuing on with the
just continue, yeah.
It's a slow descent, dude. Mm-hmm. It's a slow descent.
It's a slow I tell you, the Steven Seagal universe is fucking amazing. Alright, I guess that's it. God damn, we spent way more time than we need to talk about this movie. Holy fuck.
I mean, the thing is, the other 2 were just like, they're okay.
But then this movie, in general, it's just like a whole fucking mess.
Yeah, I know. This one is just it's like it's a slow descent we're witnessing here. I'm believing.
I'm so glad we're taking all of our time just to talk about Steven Seagal.
God, dude. Okay, let's just end it.
Yeah,
Austin,
okay,
please.
I'm gonna write a letter to Steven Seagal saying, hey, yo, we're big fans of Steven Seagal.
And that's it. This is like from your biggest fans.
Yeah.
That's it. He just leave it sign or thing. That's the only letter he'll get in like 10 years or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'll have to watch Kill Bill after this.
Yo.
Make myself feel better.
Oh, after you watch that Twilight Zone episode, right? You're gonna watch that Twilight Zone episode, right?
Yeah, after the Twilight Zone episode. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, alright, hey. Alright, fuck, I have to go mow my lawn now. Fuck.
It's like
Alright.
7. What?
It doesn't, wait, the best time to mow your lawn is at night, alright?
Okay, sure. Okay, alright then. Alright.
Alright, coronavirus is still a thing. Wash your hands. Okay, thanks, bye.